don't happen at that community there, we believe say enough will happen if we don't look after our environment. And these environmental issues, the world we talk about, waiting will they do so now? Now one of the strands the world need for do as a country for prepare for any environmental issue. Because that's one great thing. If we prepare, we will get a better response. If we raise the awareness, we will get a better response. Local councils, now we're responsible for sanitation. Sanitation, no host no day, even if not per body. When someone go to tell me, say, they get dirty at the house. Dirty go must day. Any South Waterman day, dirty go must commodity. Waiting at your responsibility for take care of your dirty. We don't see during this particular rainy season how, because we know they look after our environment, we know they look after our dirty, how dirty don't they come for come meet you in a place the way they embarrass you. Embarrass you a lot. Small money where somebody need for pay, for let them take in dirty, for let them go dispose of them well, people then find them very difficult to do that. As a result of that, I see rain begin cancel no more. People they say, rain they come. Let me throw the dirty over. The water will carry on. As a result of that, there were activities that other communities that it cause you forget the kind of disaster we experience right now. We talk about belows, especially in the mountain areas, the hillside areas. Difficult for let people that go there. Some are not even get planning permission. Nobody not get right. Say for go build like that and because government is challenged because of resources. For go everywhere, it will become difficult. You go build somebody, you build us. South and not authorize you for go build. What did they happen? You move the soil, you shake the soil. Later on, rain come, that place is not to the right place for the host collapse. At the end, when would they see that video that way they come out? When people they say, Papa government. Think first about yourself before ever you become Papa government. Your actions and your activities in that area that they very, very important for save the environment and for make sure say we live well during your own time, but not only during your own time, but for picking the way they come later on. If we not do that, the disaster they go back in future. And not to that we really want in our country. So I'm glad for this is a collaborative effort. We want for work together. Everybody get responsibility. Everybody get responsibility. We need for own this particular activity and this campaign so that you will give information to the next man we know the next man will not get the kind of phone for look back. The next man will not get television by word of mouth. We'll go back to the communities. Let us get meeting now them communities today for actually raise the awareness with this media campaign is there about. So on behalf of the ministry, I'm glad for dinner. And we always say for work together with the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Information, then they help we for giving the kind of visibility for the activities that what we want for let them cover for we. And let people that know waiting good and waiting bad. And a lot of the time, If we listen to the advice where they come from, it will help you a lot for protect your environment. So that we all engage in this particular activity today, so that at the end of the day, we will carry the message and go out, and all over the nation, people then go say we're serious for environment business and climate change with all the faces. I want to tell them not to thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, the Right Honorable Tambalamina, for that brilliant statement today. I mean, a number of things then come up. So we not, in fact, even go into the discussions then proper. And I just also add, say, when them conversations then they begin, we want them to be interactive. So we not just want the panel no more for the talk, we should all listen. Because otherwise, chances are we not probably would listen to ourselves. And I should say the essence of this entire exercise. Now, for now, we listen to ourselves. Listen from within the policy leaders then get for talk. But then also we say listen to UNA and benefit from UNA, because I should say UNA self experiences them very unique. Right now, the areas they own, their own observation, on our communities, them, but then more, I mean, broadly, generally. The Honorable Minister talk about collaboration and partnership. Very important. He also talk about awareness raising, education for engaged communities, for let people. I mean, it's not as if them thing and they not done they happen before, but the fact of the matter is we need to continue to do more of that. Also, so that people then will know and become more aware increasingly about the disadvantages if we continue for the harm to environment in our communities then. Problem caused by rain. I mean, I should say this rainy season here, we don't see plenty. Also, we have seen a lot of implications, right? With the rain, they don't come. I mean, my brother then also from disaster management. I mean, eventually when the panel discussions are beginning, say we go now first-hand experience, right, in terms of the things that we don't see and where they don't get calls for response to. Finally, the Honorable Minister talk about the Osterwo they build. I know say we all want side them for Leone, we all want to only abule them. But with that desire, they also come responsibilities. Also how they do them, how they do them, how it get affect you in the next 5, 10 to 15 years with soil erosion and all of them, and they, particularly in the areas they decide for doing. So all of that and they will form part of the conversation. And I just want for final again say thank you to the Minister for a brief statement. At this point now, we will go to which I will call my co-host, and that's the Minister of Environment and the Ministry, because now because of them, we get this conversation, right, for CR Cable for beginner, but then find the pathway for continuing conversations there. And so it is necessary and important for Yeri from the Minister himself, let himself can talk to we. The Minister, his name Najiwo Abdullahi, you know, na my own brother and friend, which you don't know na that, and I will say for the very first time, the fact that I know I'm a predator, because in daddy, when I see him, if I see him right now Uncle Michael at the collar, that man I always regard as an uncle, and I don't know him and get respect for him for a very long time. So I transfer the relationship more or less. And I have a lot of respect for this minister because he has done wonders at the ministry and they continue to do exceptionally well at that ministry. So thank you again and welcome. And I will pass the mic over to Ram for him to say a few words to we all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Environment business.
Our world business.
Minister of Local Governments. Deputy Chairman, Ward C, Deputy Executive Director, MPA, Deputy Director General, NDMA, councillors, village heads, traditional leaders, youth leaders, family all we come today on a morning. This today na family talk we camper. And family talk, una camper a file when I able for talk freely. So I dey hope say we can for the discussion them, all man go talk the person na family talk we camper. Because if we're not able to talk freely, some of them problem here will get, we're not able for get to the bottom of them, for really understand them, and for able for begin for solve them. We can have for exchange ideas, as a ministry, we dey work with colleagues then at Ministry of Information and Civic Education, because now they sabi how for get craft message and get out there. For develop ideas then, or one for can share with you. But when we can share with you, once they want self give you feedback, because now so we can able for improve on the messaging. Because I think say we all get the same goal. We now for protect the Western area from disaster, protect the Western area from water insecurity, not just for we there now, but for future generations. And for that day, for that we able to get the desired outcome, a final we able to talk to ourselves. That will not hold back. Because Boko of them here, it's better for prevent the problem than for solve it. Some problem there by the time they hit you for solve it now, na big that. So government don't see to say we for able to operate as one government. I make you see different MDAs now, you see council now also, and for bringing people and come together so that we can able to discuss how we can prevent some of them problems here. So let's just list some of the problem the way I wonder we discuss now today, or we don't engage for what we discuss now today. Water security. We all know say this Western area peninsula now in the catch boku the water for Western area. Guma then a Western area peninsula. The current lake where they supply water na Pito na they. And all the future a expansion where they don't plan, all in this Western area, Peninsula National Park. So important for that we protect the park. If we want to forget water or now this Western area in the future, not to just for today, for we picking them, for we can picking them. If we left it don't say we cut all the tick them, now big problem go in this Western area and we'll not go for live. Disaster prevention. As the colleague minister, we just don't highlight some of the cause of that disaster. But even the cut stick, now a very big contributor to disasters. Because when you cut the tick, now the dirty number on our left, where you can, if they watch that dirty day, go down. That dirty day, if they go full of gutter there, and filter, and all over the Western area. When the gutters are full up, the water no get side for go. Now flooding the day, now the streets the day. If they come up, if they flood, we go na people that host them. So that we sit down talk like family how we can for prevent sanding. Sand mining. Now that one way the rate at which we do it, we really need for sit down and discuss how we can be able to do that sustainably. Because every few weeks now, we see disaster they happen. Just 2 or 3 weeks ago, we see what happened at Laka. Where the water don't come, it eats, people host them. Place the way people don't invest their savings in, just like that they don't go. And some of them say, and I see what we can able for avoid. So it better that we get the conversation now. Let we talk to we self like family. Let we see how we can able for avoid that kind of problem there. The whole point of this now for talk to we self. So I hope say when all we don't come, when I will contribute meaningfully. Because if not so that, we as a government not go able for really get to the bottom of the problem here. And that's makes something and the government go try for solve one problem, it creates other problem. But if we don't bring on all kind of on all talk freely and give the feedback, we can able for let we fine tune some of their ideas there. Then I think say we can come up with solutions there. We 10, 15, 20 years down the line, when I all go down on our host and say, well, now we can Waterloo for solve them problem here. We daily today, we still they see the benefits. So I they plead with all of una, I they beg all of una we don't come today for talk freely and make meaningful contributions then to this town hall. No idea, not a bad idea. Let all man talk freely because now the only way that they will be able for move forward. And with that, I will wish all man fruitful deliberations, and I hope say what will they get out of this now messaging we go help not just the western area but the rest of the country for avoid some of them problem there we face right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Until another day for myself, is say how we were able for join on, right, and get the right kind of conversation we get for do with our environment. I mentioned two things there, where I think say paramount to him as the policy lead. But then also to the ministry where they represent. One, now water security. And with water security, plenty things they now know say they embark this business small. Deforestation, encroachment. Also, now all of them protected areas and they were supposed for able for the generate water and keep them for we. So that not only we now, but generations to come, we will still able to get access to water. They also talk about sand mining. Mr. Minister, some years back, I mean, if you go like them beach area, them coastal lines, them, the kind of impact to that sand mining they don't get, it don't take away, it don't they kick in small. Mm-hmm. And even some of them being grown and they were there along them place and they just say the sansan, and also climate change don't sort of affect them to the point where you see some of them places then they cheap, small, they go. So we all sort of essentially get a responsibility. We not go wait till kind of doorsteps down and that's we're going to begin the fair way now for say how we solve that. Sometimes by that time they get on late. Now I make the minister in the wisdom and the vision where he gets. Now how we can move for join on and make sure say we do the right things then, get the right policies, implement them when all buying to them policies and they so that they go better for all the environment, we'll go look after, we'll go for watch out, we'll go for bio, right, and keep them well. And so I tell them plenty thank you for them comments and then sentiments and they we express. We look forward to the deliberations them. Where I think saying I do go transition to, but then before transition into them conversations and they want for introduce the other panelists them within to my immediate left, now my brother John V. Rogers, when I'm the Deputy Director General, National Disaster Management Authority. It's an institution where was formed by His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, precisely because of the challenges that now they see, when it comes to the environment, climate change, and all of that, but then also how to manage them, how to respond to them, how to prevent them. Very important. A few weeks back, I should say my brother member and I in Canada press conference day, Foreign Affairs, and he said a lot of things. when me say self now be the first time for let me hear my show so now say go benefit, like go me say be benefits that end day for hearing some of them thing and day. It was very insightful, but then also very, very realistic. And that is why you see the partnership between what they do and the Ministry of the Environment and my own Koto and Big Brother, Tambalamina, the Minister of Local Government. Because all of them in there, so they touch directly on them, also, and then various communities them as all of them traditional leaders them way in support for the way they represent, right? They have a responsibility too in this particular exercise. And so I want to welcome you, and then we also get the Deputy Chairman, Brown, when we don't give the opening remarks. I also get my own small brother, at least I get small brother at this panel. My own small brother, Dwight Z.K. Sharif. I'm out on the trench for long, my life. Finally, don't come on the trench, girl. I'm more than excited for her. Welcome, Mr. will be part of this discussion, and then Mrs. Bintu. Himself, then I also, you know, I think Naina the most important person I have, right? Because of, I mean, the voice and the perspective and all of the uniqueness they bring to this conversation. So, in particularly, I want for a clap for them. Right? For the one who don't know to journalists, so for journalists, they say, "No, for clap." The one who don't know to journalists, no clap for them. And so we go start this conversation. But in starting this conversation, where the village headman na grafting there. All right, yourself come forward small.
We can move now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. The village headman na grafting. Come yourself can occupied. You see, you know my way. You get for go find a life. You see minister then the gap for let you sit down. It should say something not to pay my business no more you go in deeper. And something that you go left now say you do 2 term, 3 term, 4 term. Where you? Alright, clear. We also get I think Mrs. Bintu already don't introduce you, eh? Yes. Now Bintu Mosi, now the project manager na
projection.
Now the project manager na is it WAPNA? But also then at the Ministry of Environment, you see, and they get 2 functions and get 2 roles there, then they perform. Very important. Not a joke with them. An agenda again. If na man be hold that position they have before, don't say no, let them pull one, let them give woman. But when I hold on 2, then we're good to go. We get, of course, I don't introduce the deputy chairman. We get Salimatu Usmanatu Kuruma, when I'm the chairperson, Committee on the Environment. You there? You there? Welcome, and a lot clap for him. No president, the in government, we let foresee women in the take front row by this business. You're more than welcome, can sit down, again for be part of the conversation. And then, of course, the other 2 panelists, they're also there, John Vandy Rogers and Dwight Z.K. Sharif, when I'm your small brother, I'm always a big man. So we'll start the conversation, but how I will do it? Minister of Environment, Joe Abdullahi, don't talk about 2 things. He talk about water security, he talk about sand mining. In addition to that, the other things then they will know say central to them 2 things in the water security and sand mining. We get deforestation. We get encroachment. And then water catchment areas then. But then one other one day again I want to add into this conversation, which is the protection of wildlife. The protection of wildlife, because now that thing and they make countries attractive. How you protect your wildlife then and make sure so they get their own space where we go attract the necessary tourism. We in turn will develop, we in turn will generate revenue for government, you know, and make government able to look to other means that for able to get enough money for embark on, which you could call social protection programs then, also or development programs then. So all of them one in there. So I want let we start off this conversation, and I will go to I will go to my brother on disaster management because I think it will be very insightful for we all. And then as the conversation they go on, when I keep in mind, say, una say go get the opportunity for contribute. For contribute, right? Leone say out now unique perspective as we don't say, right? And be part of this conversation. I don't want to just be a conversation from this side, no more to una. And because otherwise, I will left here feeling very unfulfilled. Like sure say not to that the intention and the mindset of the minister, right, of environment and the minister of local government. We then decide for Canada and get this conversation. So, I mean, I will start with disaster management, as I say. Mr. Rogers, in your experience over this period as Deputy Director General of the National Disaster Management Agency, which in you feel say don't pose challenge in terms of which you see firsthand? Now then communities where disaster don't happen. We get for do with encroachment, deforestation, and how that the impact the environment and how owner self can come in, right? Essentially for mitigate them, but then also for get conversation with them various communities and as to how they can prevent them, right, from happening again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Awale Atima,
Go right ahead.
thank you very much. I want to say good morning to Honorable Minister of Government, members of the high table, the chiefs within there, the demanded, the youth population, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to tell you good morning, and I bring you good morning from the National Disaster Management Agency. This is the agency we get responsibility for manage disasters, including disaster preparedness, prevention, mitigation, response, and recovery on behalf of government of Sierra Leone. This the National Disaster Management Agency, an establishment of government under the leadership of Excellency the President Dr. Julius Marabio, where it is necessary for ensure for make we get true achievement in terms of human security and environmental protection. Make sure they give award to the public of the country towards the establishment of this agency. The three arms of government that they get for activator and ensure on the 8th of June 2020, Parliament will therefore pass the Act, and the National Disaster Management Agency Act will bring into existence the National Disaster Management Agency, which is this Act. On the 19th of November 2020, His Excellency the President moved further for launch the agency now State House. And since then, just a week after that, we find ourselves with a major disaster occur now Susan State, one of the largest fire disasters we ever occurred in the history of this country. We, in fact, we get for displaced a lot of people in Sudan State. But coming down to the question, make a drill down on the question where the chairman not asked me. Some of them, I hope you agree with me that we don't get a serious change in the climate. 10 million in this country, we get 6 months of rain and 6 months of dry. When I find out it don't change. That 6 months of rain, that 6 months of dry, it don't change. 10 million in this country, they get 7 days rain. All that don't change because of the events that happen around the world, or the global climate change. And this in the impact not only Sierra Leone, but many countries within the world. Because of the global climate change, you find out this Sierra Leone no exception. Make us zoom down to what they happen currently, because that's the question where the chairman asked me. Inside Freetown, inside Sierra Leone, the other part of the country. We don't find out saying over time, the climate change, the weather don't change, the rain may come at the time we don't expect, the change in the weather pattern, it affects people they're living, it affects communities, it affects livelihood. So because of that, we see a lot of impact. We see a lot of disasters we occur in various areas around the country. As an agency, you find out say inside this country, we don't do a lot of assessment, and that assessment to the point finger say we get issues where they affect you as a country. One of which, if we get too much rain, if we get too much extreme dry season, then we get water shortage. We don't do assessment where they show say in some areas in the northern hemisphere of this country, around the month of March and April, we get for finding difficult to meet around areas like Konadogo, Cambia, we get for finding this, forget decent access to decent drinking water. That research we don't run. And we can know say the one way they get the water sector, we don't engage for make sure say they're able to step up, but ensure say in terms of boreholes, in terms of water wells, cleanation, they're able to provide decent drinking water for the population. So that's one challenge we face. Beyond that, if we get too much extreme rain, then you find out say the aftermath is like flooding. Flooding may affect many areas around the country. Freetown not to exception. Other areas around the country, even yesterday, we just get a report that Cambia town itself, they get a major flooding. But that flooding happened at Cambia as a result of transboundary challenge. You know, the river when they run around Cambia, they go right inside the Guinea Highlands. And even when it don't rain, na Sierra Leone, but it don't rain inside the Guinea Highlands, the water bank is high up, therefore a bank for effect. Now that time caused the event we see currently inside areas around Cambia district. But beyond that, we don't do things for make sure we will do prevention so that disaster not will occur at all. So how we do it? So that we can forget and clearly. The first thing we do assessment. That assessment is they lead with scientific assessment, and they lead into many areas. And we use scientific tools for do that assessment. If I not say over time, the trend not change. 10 minutes and saying a flooding no occur, people they don't displace, but now a building collapse. I will come to that later on. Now fences in the collapse, I will discuss that later on. But in terms of the assessment, it leads into many issues. The first issue is they tell me the areas when a high risk, when a low risk, when a medium risk. And then it's the day by gradation. So we pay attention as an agency, or government established, but make sure we pay first attention to high risk communities. People that don't settle in various areas around Freetown, where we class as high risk. Then areas in terms of heavy downpour of rain, the bound will be affected. Either they're at the seafront or they're up east, but the bound will be affected. So the right kind of situation we will see. Won't get too much rain, the one at the seafront, whether they don't do bad construction, then they get serious challenge. Either they say some houses and then they collapse. And why the houses they collapse? Number one, many factors. People that don't do land reclamation from the sea. When they don't do land reclamation, they don't put houses in there. Their houses in there, in terms of extreme weather condition, then they collapse. And why they collapse? Either they say a flooding or it can be seen a windstorm. Windstorm get potential, especially when you get velocity, they bring down buildings. And this is the impact of human settlement. The second issue is related to sand mining. Glad you were the Honorable Minister of Environment. Make mention of sand mining. Sand mining is a thing where it's very destructive. If we do it constructively, with environmental protection and with direction, I sure say it will help the environment. But over time, we don't find out say people in the sand mine are wrong places, and because of that wrong sand mining, is the impact of the environment. It just to make reference about Dakar. We sleep overnight, and the following morning, last week, we already say 1 billion collapse. But people that belong to do sand mining, they're not almost undermine the building. So the level that building there, where it can go, it get impact on other structures. So 4 big concrete structures, they fall down around Dakar. And today, we find out saying a very big loss to this country. Beyond that, you find out say, when you take a look at areas whose people they don't get negative interaction with the environment, we get storm drain channels, we say water the flow, we get gutters. Then gutters in the way they construct, and for ensure say we get flow of water. But over time, what we don't see, we don't find out say people that don't construct, then they throw the garbages, then they throw dirty inside modern storm drain channels. And when rain can, the gutter the block. And what's going to happen? It cause flooding. The water they go inside human society, human environment, human settlement, and this they cause displacement, which is really, really very bad. They affect people then. Beyond that, you don't find out say the issue of deforestation, another factor where it affects Freetown and other areas of the country. 10 million of this country will get 27% of forest cover. You just make mention of the protected areas. For example, the Gola Park, the Gola National Park, the Leone National Park, the Otamatu National Park. Then parks and then parks are very important in terms of ecotourism for bring money can at this point where me and you will benefit out of. But what you don't see, we don't find out say over time, people do not do a lot of deforestation. When you look in the dry season, it's mapped inside Freetown, it was mapped by 43. Then you look up the hills, all things is in a red mud. Why? Because people they don't have everything. They don't get to nothing they do for protect the environment. So when you talk about the rain season, in the rains, it will take time for them to get a kind of a replenishment. Or let grass grow, let the trees grow, so that we can get protection. The deforestation is the cause impact because one tree will grow over time is spent a period of 40 years. If they spend a period of 40 years, for prevent windstorm disaster. It takes a man, a reckless man, very hopeless man, wey answer for their money, enter, use power saw, and expose the population to windstorm disaster. So now some of the things here we see because we don't see negative interaction with the environment. We don't equally see people that don't do stone mining up the hills, the wrong places. The forest of the sea now in at the lifeline of the population. That is where the minister made mention of the protection of Guma. Guma very important. Guma they constructed in 1960, just after independence. Just around 1961 after independence. They only meant for provide water for 300,000 people. Now when you look at the population of Britain stretching right up to Waterloo, the population is over 1.5 million. So everything, the way you look at the distribution of water in terms of that facility, and it not change at all. The same Guma in 1960 or 61 and the same Guma will get. And an Alfie dam. So if I now say need there for protect that particular dam, but over time people they don't go to the extent, they don't do deforestation, they don't bring down the trees they can, and the volume of water will forget per year for able to make sure say it support the volume of population, the large population we talk about 1.5 million Africans. You find out say pass them there for no rationing. Now this time the reason they over time the Guma Valley water pumping in the dry season with the no rationing. In the rainy season it's better. But if we get extreme situation, who side will get limited water for water.
30 seconds more.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Who side will get limited provision of water. Then at the end of the day, they get for impact upon the lives of the population. Because if we don't get water, water not life. Beyond that, the forest is very important in terms of the way how the air they take in. Now the trees are where inside the forest, where they are around me. Now out of this, something they way with man they call oxygen. Now that oxygen will be taken. What you they give out, they call them carbon dioxide. So we get a relationship between we and the plant. So for the able to cut plants, then when they are unable for the plant at all, like very big challenge. Mr. Chairman, the issue of planting of trees is very cardinal
In 15
around
seconds.
Freetown and other environmental side will get protected areas. I will stop just so far. I will come back again for make more points.
Thank you very much. You know, my own brother John Rogers, he passionate for a job. He get for be noted. For every single platform where I don't go, whether way they talk for the environment and the work way they do and the disaster the way they see, you know, say he take the job very seriously and he very passionate about that. And so now that make for any opportunity where he gets, you're not really be able for time out. It can't be scripted because you get a lot of things where you want for say and for able for pass on in your experience in the hope that we were there inside their room, then they go benefit and also go come with our communities them, you know, for help for spread their message then they so that we all go for protect the environment. But you know, you talk about water security, sand mining, what I think are the essence of this conversation. Then thing they happen, particularly when it comes to sand mining, they happen in various communities then. And this area self now area where we know say people in the mine sand na sand. Also, they take and can go other places there. Laka, Toke, them place then inside they always in the mine sand. We are aware, the ministry aware and government aware say now the people and they make their livelihood also. You can't take down their away from people. So man and they don't put them beginning through school. By then some mining and they buy trucks, you know, live their life, look after their family. But how do we do it in a way where we not destroy the environment in the process? Or you allow that particular side for replenishing itself? Because if you see that one, they only ban this and some business, we then get an RT, then they left a force. And they move to other areas there. It's in their own way, in their own calculation. Now a way for allow that side for replenish and able for look after the environment and build the environment back up before something and go candid and move to other areas. So I will bring in Salimatu Usmatu Koroma, when I'm a chairperson for the Committee of Environment in this council here. I want to know, since in this young community, in this your environment, on issues like sand mining, within your experience and within the council concerned boards, as to then challenges then they, but then also how una they try for think through some of them problems then they, because there's a reason which you make Minister Tambalamina there, right? They're in charge of them, local councils, and some of them sitting there also at default functions. Huh? You know this, you don't wait for central government. It is not the Minister of Environment who will come all the way under, these functions are devolved. Plenty thing now, they try for devolver. Within this council they do in this part of the country, right? As chairperson of the environment for deal with some of the issues that within our experience and which one they do for deal with them. So, I mean, very quickly before you start, which I think I go do, I think so we'll go the time we set now, anything between 3 to 5 minutes, And then in the process, if one speaker don't talk, if any member of the audience gets something we want for say, right, by way of a follow-up question on your observation, feel free to put your hand up, because as I say, I want this to be as interactive as possible, not to just one-way traffic no more. Yeah? Feel free, and then we can find a way for doing.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, colleagues. Western area where this state, people then. I want to tell my plenty, thank you. As the chairperson of Western area where this state, environment and agriculture, because are two committees.
Okay.
Because environment and agriculture, they do the same thing. Mr. Chairman, I really appreciate this gathering today. You mentioned things on the sand mining. I really appreciate when Minister, they try to talk about this disaster and talk about the protection, how we able to protect the water security, and we get some certain things that would affect. And I tell you, say, as a Western area where the state council, we certainly were so happy for see some of them things that take place at the district, because they not affect like where other people like they affect them now. You mentioned waiting happen in Laka, when Minister just mentioned waiting happen in Laka. That are one of the examples of maybe the wrong sign mining will they get, because we as council we don't stop that particular thing they say. May sign mining not go on Laka, because it therefore affects the people that will get for there that particular side. Really easy, but some people will tell you say now they live. He will tell you say now they defend them living. But when you tell them to change this other way, he will tell you say no. But we want to talk to the people of the Western area or district on this sign mining when are illegal. We get sideway legal, we get sideway illegal. Where we think say it affects for the long run. Where you mentioned on this other side where they talk about this environment, especially the cutting of trees, which is very bad. It affects me right now. For example, it happened at Tome. If they don't space that place where they don't get the old people, they don't say, yeah, na place where no fight for me today. But trust me, people they cut the trees them up, they say that they build houses. Before I get up my Tome, that day for my else I get the peace. But if they want the distance, everybody want for their free town. Everybody want for their free town. We don't talk. The last time we got a meeting here with Minister, we did part of this meeting. When we even give me as a chairperson, I even say Minister of Lands supposed for the part of some of them that in there. Because they are the people where they sign documents for people. You don't know who side this land come out. Usually they can sign documents. You might not know. Maybe on the wrong side of the thing. Then you will sign the documents. You don't give the person legal something. For making go bill goes. So when you tell you say, yeah, not to sign for bill, go tell you say, I get documents. As a council, I will be able for demolish some of them today. Because when you go demolish and they use them against you as a politician. They say you can broke the thing, but you know what knows now for the life of the people. Now for your safety, self-same. So we want some of them that we need for involve the Ministry of Lands. Because they're very, very important and they do some of the things there. I'm coming to the sand mining, which is very bad. So say when you go old person, say, yeah, you're not fine for pool Sansaya, so they affect the other people. So they go pull them. The next way to do now for go build posts. Hence the place not clearly. But if we put a security around inside the day, Mr. Chairman, I think so it will help you for the western area where this street for maybe the next coming 10 years, don't want to get flooding at this community, at this district. I will just want to stop here first because we have to come another part. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You know, of all the panelists that we don't talk, my sister, Salimatu, don't say something where I think say supposed for me to take away for we all. He said, before me tap na motome, una came go for my. Before I tap na motome, where if we in the car, me hat the court, I don't know what thing get for happen. Soil erosion get for take place. Something get for happen. Trouble go candy. Number go come on. Una came go for my side flat. It is very important. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, in some of them conversations there, we supposed to be able to get informed choices. We supposed to know which we do. Government can regulate. Functions can be devolved at local council level. But we not remember who said, in terms of the place they all they go, some of them tin and they you hear within the deputy don't talk, a disaster management. And the problems they all then get for they deal with and contend with regularly for various reasons. We supposed to be able for be cautious, take with care as to the place they all they go and say now 1 bill we are for our family there. Because potentially them place then they go cause problem for we. So it's very important to take that. But then I will take this same question I asked my sister, I will send her now to in boss. Because now they get the policy drive. Right? Now local council level. So in go able for know more, but then first hand in go able for give in terms of within now the council policy direction. Not forget say in the interim, if anybody feels the need for interject with something critical or important, right, or want to contribute to this conversation, feel free. But I will give the deputy chair. Somebody there at the back. We're supposed to get another mic. Where? Let's go at the back. Now make sure so the mic there the woko. So again?
In my statements, most of these issues.
If the mic not the work, I'll ask the person for come forward and can say what you want to say very quickly. And we will also limit them to 1 minute 30 seconds of your own contribution. Yes, please. Uncle at the big side. Now my uncle, by the way, Chief Young.
Anyway, Honorable Minister, Ministers present here, members of the High Table, I stand on the existing votes. I want to thank you for the conveners of this great meeting. Environment, now with all business, everybody they live inside an environment. If you destroy them, then you destroy yourself. Now, I mean, for make the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, for make them go there. Waiting don't destroy the environment. When some of women they grow up, we know of DFOs, Divisional Forestry Officers. We know of Rangers, Forest Guards, and every chiefdom in this country. Every chiefdom in this country they get a forestry. Every chiefdom they get a forestry, and then they get DFO, they get Forest Guards. Where are they now? Would that get away with all of the institutions they did? Now we go back. Because if you don't go outside, when you buck your food, you just go outside where you go for now, you don't go ever correct that mistake. Where are the DFOs? Where are the forest guards? Now them people that they so way and people so if we go back to the olden days and get every chiefdom or get a protected forest where they wanted them for purely that nobody at least touch them. But if you look now, the amount of power source away there's on as alone, it don't almost pass the population of this country. The power source away there's on at this country. And everybody, now they do no business now, and timber and boat business. How? Timber and boat business. Now that is not going to destroy with environment. Let me be at least fair. And even when they talk about sand mining, the council they get people them where they monitor them bitches for an illegal sand miners. We get to look into that. Let me not pay for forget for sake. Now, two things that when no matter man will stop now this war. Breeze and water. Nobody no will stop her. I don't put barrier this and so there for the Pataka. No way in the lie. When they come, if they kick and want them, you other kick. Now go and go with that so. So let me make sure for say that things that will be get first. That institution then will be get first where they protect the environment. Let me bring the camera.
Thank you.
That's the real submission.
Thank you very much. So we'll take one more from this gentleman, and then we'll come back to, we'll come to Deputy Chairman. Let me just say what you want to say, and then we'll go back.
Ministers, Deputy Chairman, Police Councillors, and then we are Councillor of CSC, the Climate Change Chairman, what's the name of this council? I just want for add to sister, women, we work together. So how we Western area who are this council, the guy for stop climate change or help the environment, follow improve the environment. Well, we just want for add to sister. We have we partners with other we guy for plant season. And last month also we did that activity, the plant season and in fact all the Western area, the man will attest to that say we be involved in that area and we supervise. But we get constraints where we want to make this Western area green again, like how we started on. Me and John they are born anyway. So we talk of Sansan, Asabi. When part of the forest officer then Asabi become a part of forest officer the work service employee. And so they call it and tell them, but not again, I can tell them in get. We need to forget teamwork for them to protect this Western area who are these streets. Now teamwork. They want lands. MPA, the military and the police. If I hear about it now, alright, for the military and the police there. If they see them, they talk there. In fact, the Westman away, the way when I talk this now, not the way again. Because all that are all that are this policeman shot, they're all there now. So the land their way, now government place them. When we go for go plant inside the day, you will get policeman there, you wait so the man will go beat up. I was detained for some hours to police station because we go plant one area and the down there. We go plant chicken there. The policeman then pass where the was and call me. They detain me. So the land, so they where them plant, where them wash place, and for plant yes, we go buy them. But now when them wash place, land say what they do now for get machine go now for make road. For Sunday land now for the people there. So we need collaboration. But we want to work with the Western area where the city council for them to make peninsula green again. So that we get water. But the other people there who want to work for day together, not work together. Okay. And this was council what they want to say, no stop now. Yeah, let them back me up because we want government, we work for government. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, not of enemy to them.
Thank you. Thank you. So I mean, I still will come back to the deputy chairman because at the end of the day, I think say that gentleman there, now in boss this also. So now in boss now he get supervisory responsibility over both the individuals they are, Salima too and this gentleman. So I will still come back to the deputy chairman. But let's just say one thing, and I should say, Minister probably in closing courtesies will talk about her. They mentioned collaboration with the Ministry of Lands. And no say Minister Jiwo, they work closely with the Minister of Lands. I know that one day for a fact, yeah? But the details then, in probably reassured and now where they give closing courtesies for all I know the extent of that collaboration. The reason to make the Minister of Local Government there now because Minister Jiwo not the work in isolation, not in one day they work. Otherwise the work not go done, it not go complete. Now because they get partnerships with the colleague ministers, them they sit in cabinet every Wednesday, even at down there and get their own interactions and conversation there on all of the issues there. But one for sure, I say the Ministry of Lands is an integral part of that conversation there. And minister don't get conversation there with the Ministry of Lands and the minister, and it will continue. Some of their feedback there, obviously, when he goes back to town, it will get a conversation there with the Minister of Lands again on some of the issues they are raised. But I will come out back to the deputy chair and one other thing they will add. When I get bylaws then. Because I think say na they will for start, in all of them conversation there, which one are they do, which one are not they do, which are the bylaws there. How them bylaws there they help una in all of the issues there.
Again, my minister, the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, I also for say big kudos to you and my Minister of Environment, Minister Giwo, and also the tycoon, men to work for a very long time in terms of disaster management and security of the districts. Mr. Chairman, you asked a very sensitive question with the country today. We look at and say, na development, but another time, na very dangerous. For me, I would say, environmental impacts is something else to talk about today at the nation. Sand mining, as we all will agree, the Ministry of Environment, first being with the Ministry of Agriculture, but now being split. For me, now one of the main ministry way for keep we mortal man to be alive. Because without proper management of the environment, definitely the nobles will be known on earth. Life not will exist. Sand mining, for we, is devolved to local council. And looking at it, council gets a budget line we set for sand mining. But council not here, this part of the country, but I feel that due to human activities when they damage the environment today, we say that we get just two places for mine at the districts. That is Jolobe and Hamilton. But Hamilton, looking at the way where it is it degrade the land. We say to the Minister of Environment, the Minister of Local Government, we get laws that we put to him say that just once in a week for my Jolobe. But due to economic issues now this need today, people are going all about mining illegally. Council use Metropolis and use the Sierra Leone police to see how we can manage the different areas here. But still, I will tell this August gathering that people will not let this country, they go all around. Teaming up with others, thoughts around the area for CCA, the mind will sign up for mine. For my own area, as acting chairman of the Western area over these states, I get areas the way it is I want for them to watch us when I get areas in terms of managing our environment. One of those areas is amalgamation of laws. When these laws, the law try for like it say, we watch at them one law, no they try for go against the other law, it's definitely that we will not get it right. If the council gets a bylaws, as of now, even as we talk, by next week we will get drafts of different bylaws, environment, sanitation, and all others. When they come again for help in the fight against environment and other areas where we devote to council. If that laws there when we call, we act them when we go up by. Now, the Ministry of Lands, at first, they were strictly against some certain environmental policies. Why? Because they have it there in the books that we have to follow. That surveys and lands is being placed in the Ministry of Lands. Whilst the Ministry of Environment said, we are responsible for the environment and there are acts will go to that. But are they speaking the same language? Waiting are the cowards for the people actually. Ministry of Lands come and say, this land they for sale. The Ministry of Environment can say, we need for protected areas. Ministry of Agriculture come and say, these are green belts. Where they determined today by the Ministry of Environment. Then they tell you, say, these are the buffers. But if Ministry of Land don't say, they don't tell you, say, these are the buffers, then they go back into the buffer and they say. So you will find out, say, when one law they talk of one thing, say, let me protect the buffer coming to the green belts. And other law they tell you, say, no, we for try for make it be say we get development and equality, so we go offer this land. Coming to the beach land. So the Ministry of Agriculture they tell you about growing, feeding the nation. As I'm here standing, there were issues they wake up now we take yesterday of a certain individual trying to deforest the mangrove, saying we need for plants rest, we need for this swamp land for plant rest. But at the same time, yes, it's under the Ministry of Agriculture that we will try to go on with planting and try to see how we can feed the nation. But here are issues that feeding the nation, yes, is perfectly correct, but not in mangrove swamp. Because we will protect them and we know the benefits go under what we refer to as climate financing. The benefits they come to know from the mangrove them we already don't be grown. So in light of that, for me, I will take, the podium. I want to say that sand mining is one issue where it affects the environment today. But if only we can get laws, the way EBCS can speak to one another, to all our laws there, at the same time, and we try to amalgamate these laws, it's definite that we will contain some of the issues there with the grapple. So as I was saying, that some mining at the western area rural districts, we only get 2 points with Najonode and Hamilton. But as of now, when the race starts, say from June, going further, we will stop sand mining completely at some of the areas here. And now only one side right now will function. But the human activities, the illegal sand mining, that in they cause those problems. So if the ministry can come together and other line ministries for come and help and see say we protect the areas and it will be good for we all. I thank you.
Well, Deputy Chair, I tell you plenty thank you. And also say, yes, the Honorable Minister want for say something in relation to some of the issues that we Deputy Chair already. So, Minister. That mic did the work? Bring it on the camera.
I want to tell Deputy Chairman, I don't say they're very passionate, see how we express them. The only thing I want to say, Deputy Chairman, I think say, beside the issue currently, if you don't get a bylaws, I think areas a day. And for the enforcement. And the council really need to take responsibility for enforce. We talk say one day term, then for mine, 1 day in the week. But what will happen? You and me no say, in a happen to be the week. You and me no say, the guess what you they call dry ground. Dry ground outside, it's very close to the mining site. They just mine and they come back. Then the rest of the other days, no mine no the happen. That's it. That alone don't kill the bylaw. Because that 1 day they came for mine, for all the other days they only don't talk to them fees. So until we enforce the issue of dry ground, let's say the way the place open up, when you back is see mountains of sand impact the community. Until we enforce the law for say, when one go to Kaka, it will take that long before you come back to Kalu. And that all day inside the activity, there's conversation they will get. But the enforcement of that and the dry ground and they undermine that completely. And as such, the control measure say, let too much sand not be mined. In 1 day, they came to mine 5 days sand. Because then they just don't take an account. Then the rest of the other days, then the piece of land outside the for supply. You need to look at that, Deputy Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, you see,
just give me just a minute. Just a minute.
no, I'll come back. Not and on, and then I'll definitely come back. So you see, there are, which I would like say, different challenges. Minister Sef don't highlight based on your experience as they live in Hamilton, within also see as a potential problem, and how I think they also they emphasize the need for more collaboration between central government and local government. Because you hear the deputy chair and they say they appeal. In all of which they don't say appeal and say let central government come, let them partner, let them work, let them collaborate, and see how they people for address some of the issues. You know, Mickey always say when local council and central government when they sit don't talk, for all you know, there's a lot in common. There's a lot of issues that they will in their conversations and they will realize say we all they come up from the same angle, we see it the same way, and we all sort of like get an idea as to how to move forward on the partnerships and missing. You know, and I hope say this conversation will help for continue for agenda that partnership day in the best interest of our environment and for Mama Salon. I want for Pam, I can't see you, I don't see you. I want my brother ZK Shahid Dwight let you prepare yourself small. one of the things that we then raise in some of them conversations there by that gentleman now and by Chief Young also, he talk about protected areas. He say you tend the way them he be much younger than I young too. You know, but because he's still young, now that make he get the name Chief Young. He's not the only person where get the locals for say young, even at this age. He say, but when he be much younger, then we get what you call DFOs then. Also, they will be responsible for protect the environment and get protected areas. Now, I'm not saying in a way that is what the institution they do. No, so national protected and it cover the whole country. Now, how your institution really represent? How one are they help? Because protecting areas also they touch on environment issues. So that's precisely one of the many reasons that we make when I get responsibilities in there. How your institution they help, which one see based on some of the challenges that we want from my sister, my brother when a councillor, from the deputy chairman of this council. Which are some of the challenges that we want to see and how our institution they help for deal with their challenges that they, but then also for be proactive, right? In making sure say some of the issues and they know in fact they happen in the first place. So I want to let you, I usually get between 3 to 5 minutes before we come to we lead on we man a grafting. Then self can do your own grafting experience. Right? Before I come to it man, I should say my sister said me too, I get for bringing and coming to this conversation and then it might know like man and then for talk class. We see talk on now and also the part. So I forget that this conversation now and put on place. Right? So Mr. Sharif, over to you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't know. Where is this? Give me that one. Hold on. I think this one I mean like.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And members of the ITO. I want to recognize the presence of our able and capable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change, Honorable Minister Joab Lai, and the Ministry of the Environment staff, and the National Protected Area Authority, and the NPA personnel who are present in this hall. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for the question where you don't pose to the National Protected Area Authority. The National Protected Area Authority came into existence in 2012, of which that institution established for let it become an institution where for manage two ecosystems. We get the terrestrial ecosystems, we get the wetland and marine ecosystems. So therefore, the institution gets the supervision rule over 15 protected areas in this country. So Western Area Peninsula National Park, we're not in question today, and we're not stakeholders of the very Western Area Peninsula National Park that assembled now today. Let us know say that just one of their ecosystem and we talk about we get to do with the terrestrial and the marine ecosystem at the Western Area Peninsula National Park. So we don't help in many ways since the establishment of the NPAA. Everywhere somebody mentioned, they say that they get directors of forestry, they get forest guards, they get forest rangers. I just want to let people understand the transformations that don't take place now. The Ministry of Agriculture, we definitely see the establishment. Hopefully, or probably when the Ministry of the Environment don't intervene. And under the Ministry of Environment, we get the National Protected Area Authority as an agency under the Ministry of the Environment. We get the EPA with another agency. We get the Radiation Agency. All of the agencies there, they under the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change. So we get a direct supervision from the ministry. So if when they talk about the one of the ecosystems when or one of the parks and we talk about so the one at the western area of Peninsula National Park, where it don't become very much volatile to the activities of the people, both the residents and where we even definitely do activities we know right. We don't see the reaction of modern nature to us. One, the NPAA now one of the only authority where it get the power for enforce the laws within the act. Now we can demolish without court permission. Now we definitely do arrest, we do prosecution. Now we can seize or confiscate property so we meet people in the work area without no court permission. So the law gives you that power. So if they ask about DFOs or forest rangers or forest guards, I want to know say the NPAA, where the National Protected Area Authority, gets them one day way we call forest guards. If we can look around, we get people in the forest guard uniform, we are on that map, men and Siona, or say we get them people when then we deploy all over the western area of Peninsula National Park. We get 15 zones within this western area of National Park where we deploy rangers we the guide for make sure say encroachment not take place. But I'm glad for this meeting we will ministry for. One, I'm glad the way the chairman in Dinaya. Two, I'm glad the way the councillors of Dinaya. Three, I'm glad the way the community people in Dinaya. Mr. Chairman, by your kind permission, one of the factors we are responsible for deforestation and encroachment of the western area Peninsula National Park are the community people themselves. That is one. Two, some of the Hejame, I don't know what's their responsibility when they elected. Then they go and allocate protected areas to people. When you go and do your job, there's not HM in this place, HM in this place. We get a responsibility right now to challenge right now at 10th area and where they call Eastern Map. Then they carry go machines. Now protected area, where rangers go in and they get a very serious challenge and stand up with the people when they say that they give the land to ABC. So we get a responsibility. We are monitoring and protecting the protected area of Western area and the other 14 protected areas all over the country. But the quest for build houses, people that go into the build in places where they not right. As I speak to you now, we do a demolition exercise. We don't begin the demolition exercise from Comfort Bridge. And we're not only do demolition, we are also doing reforestation. And I want to tell to organizations where they don't definitely come for support the environment ministry and its agencies. But now make sure say we do reforestation. Green Scenery, now one of those organizations where they support the NPAA and the ministry for the reforestation. Then recently we also go launch another reforestation exercise. Now Comfort Bridge, as well now, some of the community people have volunteered to make sure they carry on their responsibility. So therefore, what you don't do now for help under the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change? That one, then they say police and soldier, then they go grab land. When are the very police and soldier now they deal with the NPA under the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change that will do the demolition exercise at the Western area of Peninsula National Park. If you move now on success now, our activities is currently happening here, whilst I'm even here. And we will move towards the other areas that we'll get concerned with. Our next point of call is going to be Mile 13. And we know how Mile 13, we know how the life of the Guma Dam, which are one of the resources where residents in the Western area Peninsula National Park that is being threatened. Where you did success, where you did a bubble, you see say, where you watch on the map, the Google map, you see say, the depression don't go take, the path from the treatment center of the Guma. And so the life or the sustenance of Guma Dam is being threatened by our very activities. And as a result, let me quick dry season come, when they say place hot. Not to modern nature causer, now we self causer. Because what we give out, which is carbon dioxide, what is they responsible for receiver and they will be destroyed. And as we destroy them, automatically we don't forget the bad effects on us. And as we get the bad effect, believe you me, even air conditioners will not be able to withstand when modern nature is unhealthy and is not happy with we. So far so good. We are responsible for the protection of this particular ecosystem here, or the park, one at the Western Area National Park, and the other 14 parks all over the country. These are just one of the parks where we residents in our Western area. But we get the Campbell Hills, we get the Otamba Kelele, we get the other parks and where they all other places in the country. So if I can talk so far, I will definitely restrict myself to the Western Area Peninsula National Park as to the reasons why this particular deforestation will take place in the quest for residents, and why community people know they help for definitely support the government for protecting the area. And finally, Mr. Chairman, there was a day we were on demolition about. We wanted to definitely do our operations. The community young men and other elders mobilized from the effects, the NPAA and the military, because of the long build and the protected area. That therefore make we halt the demolition exercise. We engage them, they will call it a gem. If you are here, please make them know say you there, because we'll be able to get an engagement with them, we'll get a constructive engagement and tell them say nobody is not going to stop this demolition, and we'll continue demolition after we don't get a successful meeting. So let me just demolish, go in our community and we make sure say we sit down and engage with the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You don't hear it from my brother, waiting in the donor institutions. I don't know. I sure they do a fantastic job, guys, in terms of protecting the areas that already need to be protected. One of the things that normal way I go urge now. One of the things that I go urge, the council now, before I cancel, Mrs. Bintu, you come here, okay. One of the things that normal way I go urge, particularly when it comes to the demolition thing in there, even though we're not supposed to do and it is right. Now the right thing for do, we talk about protecting the areas and then protecting our environment and all of the implications, particularly. There was a time where His Excellency the President did go Nada, Guma also, and the areas and see the number of the kind of encroachment that will be happy and the need for protection, because otherwise, if we complain about water business, but then the areas that we're supposed for generating water, that they will say they destroy. I don't think say we can continue for the complaint if we say for not do we own bit. So, maybe certain kind of conversations. Like the people that go demolish. Once you get to an itinerary, you engage in community. And then on cable for going out the necessary security audit, and they should have the resistance level for all and do my job. So I will take NWRMA, and then there was a gentleman at the back. At the cost my own contribution then to 1 minute. Do you have pay? That gentleman with the glasses at the back, come forward. I will get 2 female then, one at the back and
all the other colleagues, they hit on them, and deliberately, when they talk of the WAP level, where this Western Area Peninsula National Park, I stand up for making something very clear. I will start for Usadiwa end. Say, as a result of these human activities, where Dwight just talked about, don't leave me for me currently as we speak, even just from the end they call me for failing for correct the situation. Now we treatment plants as a result of bad water they can know. At this level of the year, we're not going to use much chemical. But we are made to know for people that know say we they use almost equal what we expect for use at April. Now we use now. As a result of 2 areas where they suspect say they really cause trouble for me now. I'm glad when you mentioned the bubble. And the demolition therefore will continue. But bubble and mango currently destroy the water. Currently, as we speak, the amount of dirty when they come inside the plant, it it got difficult now for me to manage the water. That's the low side of it all. This problem, when I remember what Mr. Luja had told us from the 60s, it all evolved to an extent. We try to add other facilities that within the city, just so we were able for help my 14. Because if you want to do a water project, you need 10 times the money to develop an electricity project. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Now that they do Kumura, if you want to do something for water or filter, as we speak, we need $3.6 billion for maybe we implement the Freetown Wash Master Plan, where we just launched 2 years ago. Now that we need. Yesterday, I mean the last day, for many Chinese, they hand over a new facility in Angola, where they cover between emergency and Hamilton. What will be the total supply per day? Now just 3,000 cubic meters per day. In other words, we just cater for a little over 15,000 people there, where at least we will manage. But the worst side of the Angola supply, again, two sources. Mr. Minister, you go surprising for us when we and the Chinese can go at the source them. As we speak at the view pictures, we get a house where you overlook the way around. As we speak, the Ministry of Lands belong cater for 12 people where they pay them. I call them. Like when you they settle them. Now for money. They settle them, they compensate the 12 people. The project not cater for that because they inside waiting. The agreement, where nobody knows supposed to be. But they don't apportion the people there by the Ministry of Lands. The project we get for pay and settle the people there. What does any money come for? I don't understand. As a result, we get two components we get for stop. What we do? When we rush, we'll just settle the water. As we speak, one of the ways, the lower ways, we get also the overlooker. Now, come and show now the effects of that. And then they talk about Yana, and they talk about the way we clear Charlotte's way. We all know say the Charlotte's fall, and this hillside bypass. Like on Jimmy, you have to. We know about the Charlotte's fall, no, so people know about us. They know what's happening before. That water, they don't be the tap, they supply the people in the iron town. When I was surprised to have people that know say, after the removal of the Los Pasado from the protected area, as a result of that road construction, people they rush, go build. Just as I made an example, say we get house where they overlook the where they all begin to take their drain, toilets drain, the cellar and the where. To an extent, since 2021, we stopped for use the water and showers. In other words, people them around the Ogogu area of going towards Wellington, that Allentown area, they all know they get water. Not until recently, when part of this master plan where they tell us so, we able to gain $6 million. As a result of that, fuels the way they do, just fuels when all each house. We go for $6 million for me they can begin to do now the Allentown system. That is they don't say after 1 year it's moved. So in other words, Allentown therefore continue for suffer for this water till 2026. So for how long will we continue this? Well, Mark and Maker now very clear. We get 10 dams there for build. We get 10 dams there for build. The Guatayo took to think that region very close to Congo, Mogiba Mountain, Hastings, Mr. Minister, where? Yes. We don't do anything. This is real. Hastings, Kosoto. We have grafting there a bit far. But I'm not surprised by the end of next year, technology. Because that's what the Lord place York psychology. York, and for construct 10 dams inside this work there. And make a clear for that. People that they think about river repair, that sometimes I call it a political project. I get reason for that. I'm a professional. I know what it means for take water from river repair. Pump pump. When EXA, if they decide for giving all the energy, it's still not a do. That in other words, one of you will go back out. Just for pump water. Yes. Because we need up to 54 megawatts from the design where they don't. And you would expect that water for pump water alone, not supply. You need to water the pass come on, go care of the pass water alone, go fit up, water alone, people where water alone be. Deputy Chairman, you go give for that?
Not possible. Yeah, so we'll give the next 1 minute.
Anyway, and for me, I round up. We get areas that right now we're critical. By the 14, in fact, they push towards what state? Mambo, the day in what state? Bobo, Sussex, and number 2, York, Regent, Bathurst, Mogeba, Motem is a bit secure. For all the areas here, I just don't tell us that they improve the source after all those we don't stop for initial Mogeba. What we don't propose right now, they don't rush to the now for moving on. So I go tap there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you see, I think I will give the other speakers then 1 minute. Yeah, and I'll keep it short, tight, sweet, and happy. Yes. Introduce yourself and then say what you want to say.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Townhall. I will be doing the national coordinator. And so previous speakers have weighed and just communication on climate change. We specifically work around climate and environmental issue. And we colleagues just talk about water management presently. And as Bobo, to be specific, they do some intervention there. We do two always present at the top with support from the American embassy, where we get our support for, and our organization actually the implementer. And we also do climate change advocacy presently at 3 communities. And one of the communities that we so vulnerable, and I can say this, thank God the minister there, and we get our environmental specialists in there. And Coco to be specific, our community that one day we work about our community, Laka, and number 2. So we basically work around peninsula axis. And if you go Coco, if you see how human activities don't make how Coco don't tell it. And this recent, just come inside 1 month. I think the man there said, the man there, if you see how we activities there, ravage that place there, you will shake here how we as Carolinians see some of these environmental issues to make it serious. And I'll tell you thank you for one thing where the minister and the environment don't do a very, very, very good job, especially putting their policies and their documents together. And that comes to the question where Deputy Chairman will talk about violence. I think the ministry don't develop the NCCP when the recent device final version of the NCCP when the National Accreditation Policy and the NAP when the National Adaptation Plan when for me the NCCP is just a framework, yeah. But the NAP when the roadmap, I feel say we need adoption and popularization of this document there so now 10 communities there so. And you find out when I go to all the communities there so they don't even know about NCCP policies. They don't even know about the NCCP.
Noted.
So I think the ministry and the environment especially there.
Noted.
You will take this document and come to the community, let them know.
Noted. I mean, I think at this point, all of them think that they say so. We note takers there at the back, then they and they don't notice them done. Eventually, we can get them feedback then they and conversations and they after the balanced 2 panelists they don't talk. So just so we will do them, I mean, in good time and make sure say we'll move round up everything. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. All protocols observed.
You get 1 minute, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
Christopher Awolowo and Ariel Imam represents regions. First of all, one for raise concern about motormen. All man knows say, first of all, if you go to the phone right now, you check for the most touristic places found within the western area. Number one, you will see Natakugama Sanctuary. You will see places there all within the western area. First of all, the one concern we get, if you know what motormen, just adjacent motormen, you see say right now, massive deforestation there. In fact, I'm one of the council officers that posted that picture they quite recently for the organized council. If you watch the massive, it's over something like a 13 acre of place where they don't wash that. Just adjacent motormen near it. And then Sugarloaf, this to all the speakers that we talk, and I'll talk about Sugarloaf as one of the protected areas. And that mountain is a protected area. We get a combination of something like 17 acres of land. 17 acres of land that has been deforested. And I don't want to interject the director of APAA, but it's like when you go to those places, those authorities that were really supposed to protect them places, they're actually partnering with the people and for you to some of them places. And these are really very important. And you as an authority, you talk about the madness, or the madness to tell the power to dormant. There's a lot you get used. It's very, very tragic. Then when it comes for book, the way they go, like the region just Irish, now selected book they go. Then the left place now, they don't go and go down the one. We don't fix an demolition we want. We want complete demolition. All side also for the let it go. And that kind of thing where they compromise them, they also want to who said the green belt demarcation there. No. They say that's it. But we don't ever know there is no sign in the community now where any man in the house will know who said the green belt there. We don't know. We need for that from government. And finally, then the governance involvement. I don't think say there is much involvement with the government and the communities. That gap they need for the bridge.
What's the government involvement? What do you mean? Government involvement? Because government there are many levels. Local council, self-government. They have authority.
Like for instance, not the instance to regions. There is this area called Jeremiah Speaks and the way the environment is. And the only thing they emphasize on regions because most of the disasters will happen in regions happen. That also will come on regions. But the community, most of the time, when they are from, they will send the senators authorities and they come. But when they come for implement.
Thank you. So let's just say one thing very quickly before you go. Yeah, with regards to the green belt. You know, I mean, I don't know, like, forgive me, but I see it differently. The authorities in Nigeria are telling about what's inside the green belt today. But I should say the fact that you raise her up should say subconsciously you know say there should be a green belt somewhere. Nothing stops you being part of that community day for going and go seek the information a day. Lord not just and say in this day and age information are one way they go. It's the responsibility of local council for can't go na their information and they're not out on us and say no, not sabi. You do it both ways. So, which make I raise the point. I want to encourage dialogue, also and conversation. That's my point. Let's go to the next one quickly.
Thank you very much.
But
Joyce Fatima Weber.
Yeah.
Director for Women's Advocacy and Agricultural Development Organization.
Right.
I also double as district coordinator for Women's Forum.
You got 1 minute, man.
I mean, you want to talk about the selective justice in the devolution, what I don't come at that. But again, I want to look at the role of the forest guards, where we don't hear about. So why the monitoring when they do, then they wait until people they not build up before we see them they can demolish. We brother don't tell me, but the waterfall, when we saw attractive na Charlotte, we will see people that they go up there, and they pay for going to that waterfall lake. Now we don't get a breaking news that waterfall don't be polluted. Moving now to Obuku, I want for pets in the God away to be that breaking news. When they do that down at Obuku, they go pollute them back. The minister talk about enforcement. Why we can't see not a land for enforced laws? Nothing they happen at the Guma Dam. I followed President Dio before the election. When you go to that damn day, and they say all the people in there they go business. And unfortunately for the poor when they build them. So why they left them when they don't build up? The now that don't spend another $6 million for forget about Charlotte and get another to Ohugu where in due course that Ohugu they will police and so for me I see this as waste of resources.
Thank you. Noted. We will take two more and then last time to Mrs. Bintu and this 8 man for their own contributions them in 3 minutes and then we'll see how we can round up this part of the session.
So before I ask you I want to understand mine as the way they have to be appointed right now. And what will might stand there? So how we go able to forget this conversation and why we get dialogue and then people away now then are the factors the way affect the loneliness. We go report, we go talk, we go dialogue, but if they are not in this mood, it is just waste of dialogue. Because they don't want for you, they don't want for you. I advise next time we get a handout of it. Now we tell the people away matter. We don't say we get a manage and chief building, I will go pass on the message to them. But then for them self no say, then what would they do? One way or the other. Affect me and not only affect me, and I think that there is some sentiment and issue they talk about. Oh, it's because of the library book, therefore take them how they do it. The need for them at this book, I made them know how we don't talk, we don't dialogue, we don't advocate say. One way or the other, the work they affect you. So let them go to at them they have not to just go just talk around next time they get them down already. Let the people away matter things. We talk about sound minding, let them say at the minors and let them say they are making carry. Let them listen and let them go practice.
Thank you very much. But I will say something. I will say something. I think I sure say the minister also go one for say. I mean, if you hold the mic right now, you see the essence of this exercise now for begin the dialogue. Certain groups of people and you don't bring them all into a room one time for begin forgetting conversation a day. There are better ways than they in communications. You have to get for slice and dice them. How it will be most effective? How is it going to be very effective? How it will be least effective? If you bring the one and they can't get a conversation, they'll tell you say the impact and the effect will be different than when you put them together. One to one, koju, eyeball to eyeball, and so get a hard and honest conversation and they away from others. So I think say that's not the minister in approach, but the essence and for beginning the conversation. Minister Jiwo very deliberate in this approach today through the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, which is to start a dialogue. And this dialogue and this conversation, they reach now the very doorsteps and they will talk about. I can assure you about that. Now go on to the next possible, and it will be the last one, and then we will come.
I think just like when the sister they say, and it starts with that, and they say he who knows it feels it. And in community development studies, they start from more than within the effect before you get the better yield. For example, I want to take waterwell and village. If I know involved with community, then the waterwell always they will say the government see your white one, so you please at the end. So now we go back to this sand mining or environmental work. Unless we go back to the least person now, and we are beginner now, it's not about we. We study AP, it's not about us when they open accounts, you know what we invite you said. It's about town hall meeting which will involve every bit of person where we can learn the basis of effects of environmental problems. Tell and say it's not about, because not everybody nationalistic, Europeans, for go protect we all, we put an important. But if you tell the low person say environmental problems affect you, sickness under, flooding people under, where you affect that Gentina where you say don't use money, or even the Gentina you affect them, because if I dey under, flooding take place, that water, that road up where say the guy tell you not to cast it, will get problem. If you have a cassette, you know where you. So if we will tell members and say it's not only about national issue, maybe we go one for monopolizer, so we said, tell us say it has a personal effect. If right now rain not come fine, it will affect plant season under agriculture. We go make we no get better food stock now country. The one we go manage.
30 seconds.
So I say again, I suggest again we go back to release people there. Devoid of them foresters, now the uniform they develop is stand for the corrected. The community, okay, when they don't cause
15 seconds.
Go see, they don't they back the area, then they go see the person they build. You see them
5
and they
seconds.
come out they go. So, and they make say we got the community members, they people the agriculture minister for they.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, just also make another important point, Minister, for your attention. All of them groups that they mentioned, so they actually invite them. Yeah. But I should say they're not come in large quantities. They're all the sand mining groups and all of them. And a formal invitation was extended to them. Then they also then a part of the conversation. The point where I'm making are that this is an initial phase. Also, Minister obviously and in team now the ministry therefore continue forget then conversations and they will then specific groups and they right. This is just the general one. I will also okay. Right. So we can't do presentation of the key messages then by Lahai, Samba Keita, and I think now Julian Avandi, no so. Julian Avandi now and also, and Lahai Samba Keita. So I will say after the messages there, just for let the temperature look kind of small. After the messages there, my panelists there, Dwight Sharif, and Deputy Chair, my brother again, Mr. Rogers, then we'll get for response to some of them things that we don't say we come off. Because I think it's necessary for let them say very quickly give some response to all the issues that we want to raise because it touch and concern the institutions that they represent. But that will be after them presentation of the key messages there. So over to you, Julian Avandi, and okay. Yeah.
Hello? 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 Okay. Morning. It's morning. Afternoon, Honorable Minister, members of the panel, all invited guests. We're happy for the at the winner like this whole idea, it was born out of the minister in view that the Western area peninsula is very, very important, very critical for the survival of the people in our future. So, if we really want to make the business go before in our future, we will talk about how to protect the Western area peninsula. It will be like a song. If for then an old man in bed, when you work yourself, anytime you work, I will look up hill, and you like when you see tip the day up there. When you turn in bed, you see tip the day up the Western area peninsula, you will be happy because that tip the day and they protect where they don't. Then disaster they will see. If that tip the day, hey, every day we get happy. Every day we see. When we talk, climate change, we see it. And this is not just the beginning. We can all see this year, July, from 1st of July, take that first. Now, no more. Climate change don't be digital. So now, we make this campaign here. The minister say we take her to all my indoor state. Now, free talk. Also, free talk no more. We get and go offline. All man for those say the teacher they will get. They get role. So now, make we begin for develop this program. We say, okay, we want to develop this program. The first thing what they do, we forget the message together. So we, the technical people, when they're at the ministry, we come together. Now we think. We sit down, we think. We say, how we will make this message? How we will make the people understand this message? What do we want from people today? Now, Master, some people like for strong and look at the words they put together. So first of all, what we do, we the experts, we develop the message then. We develop the message then, and the message then we should develop. First, we want to make una know wetin na the western area peninsula. Now, if you see what you get now, the western area peninsula, it occupy about 18,000 hectares of land. Up here now, we measure all. The original one, not everything there now. Una know, some people don't go say man the cost. But if you look at the entire area, like 18,000 hectares. Now, this peninsula now one of the 8 biodiversity hotspots on the continent. Not the only Sierra Leone, the whole of Africa is amongst 8. He now one of them. So it's very important, and he will plan there and we say with the monitorer. It's very critical for me. The Western area peninsula, it gets 61 water road there. 61. When you look at all over about 61 a day. When they come up, when water drop, tell the pass. Now 61, we don't check the all. Out of them 61 a day, all them 61 are only 4. 4 of them no more, and they provide water for you. Now 3 from 4. All the water we get from 4 of them. So let's see how critical. Now, just you know what the figures say. 3 ton we get almost 1 million people there. All man up and down 4 water sided in the day. So anything happens to that day, the engineer from what he said, don't talk about that hotel thing, a pipe wall thing, a long term thing, we don't even think about it now. But why if you get water, we have to conserve water, the rainbow they come. Why we not use that? We must spend for money for make a long thing for water. So what? That money no go put out other side. If you all we need for that, we just conserve and protect. Next slide, please.
What do I do the slide?
Okay. Technology already. So what we try to say, the importance of Western area so therefore, we for protector. Now, if we look at the Western area peninsula park, we get what we call the green infrastructure. Now, that one and they ensure say we get the water what we supposed to get.
Zach, call Juliana. Call Juliana. No. Technology don't fail them. It's not a good. Come, you just I want to talk to.
And what you find out now, we expanded, there's so much interest about Western area peninsula that they monitor. They will get what they call asset impact monitoring from space. That's a program, WFP, and they do every year. So they don't do assessment. Every year, they don't find out what they happen about Western area. Now, this year no more. This year they find out from January to April. The number of hectares about 550 hectares.
The slides and speak to the main points.
We get 18,000 hectares. We don't put about 550 acres. So then they predict say if we continue in this kind of way, before 2040, we will not get even half of the Western Peninsula forest. We don't go. So because of that, we need for make una understand the message. Okay.
Go back to you.
Let's go fast. Go. Now we get all this information put them together. Now we pass over to the people them where the master service people them where they live and communication business. So the master service people them now let's change them into words then where the layman, where anybody that I goes to for understand. So now we go into the messages and now for make you understand really what you can talk. So I will hand over to the master service people and the outreach for make them continue the messages then. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, family. Good afternoon. Very good. Well, we are going straight to the key messages because we all, from the panel discussion and interaction on would say, we know what's in the problem. We know what's in the cause of them kind of disasters that are what we put together. So now, we start as people, this is the messages the way we all get for take on our communities. I notice that the sand miners and stone miners and whoever, when they ask for, they do not gap because they see say all the weights that they give up on them. But this engagement, I want to show everybody say, now for them we come. If you don't say this sand mining, then you your livelihood. What thing you feel say government and other partners for do? For let you say, we tap for do them property there where they cause problem in our environment. So I notice say nobody not agree grab now. The end they say no man, this will do. But that is it. Now the message here, and very important for we all. How we for protect the environment. I don't say we create people in there where they understand for this. And nothing in there where we put together. One, we for let for both so that they see the area them so that we will save the community and save freedom. Because we see pictures them, people that we know regions and other areas also not only this regions we did initially. Say around battles, a place where we have green environment, but now so to turn. And this is nothing where they are going. And as said, when we talk about the other capacity, they will talk say, not for capacity or building our catchment area. And then we talk say, for set fire and we forest and reserve area. Wow. We also talk say if we stop it in a way make we not farm now we forest reserve area and no pools and sand now we beach them so we will save the community there. We also wait up on our car. Let me go fast and then we talk about the water where we the cut mango for dry fish. We where they go reach we the other side we know how this they affect you. And we know say exactly we fisherman can go collect it there and use them for dry fish.
On the implication.
Then we see this picture. We were in social media. We see this recently. Let's happen in Alaka. This is one of the disasters where happen in Alaka. And we say again, make we save, we beach them and save the community. Let me let for pools and sand and we beach them. Make we not lose the community them. Because if we continue for pools and sand and we beach them, especially the one that way people that they don't be allowed way, all that focus for them is lost the community them. People that when we don't even laka always they say not to the first laka than they.
Yes.
Well, I will use the normal voice for doing as we feel Whilst we do this, I will read from here and explain and so that we will not stop at all.
You don't come?
No, life. And as cities don't cause for people with life feed them, this electrical disconnect don't cause the life podcast them for go. And that can we do because we need for
Seriously,
so,
cancel. Now doing extension this one again.
We need to protect the forest and protect
now this one the push.
How we go do this? Where we plant more trees. Interestingly, last week, when we plan this program, we go and number 2 river, I want to congratulate them. We meet young people like who and then they plant trees there. So we'll be fortunate to take the picture. So number 2 is the man there. And this is one thing where a message of people that we community. Let me save the forest and protect the forest and protect the community. If you plant one tree today, you will help us there tomorrow.
then they give it oxygen when they get cold breeze. Pick them and then say when they hold the water and gone so that we get more water in the community there. Pick them also and then they hold the dirty for avoid make we not get soil erosion where it comes for them stone and roll and come for up and people them and then host them and destroy them. At the same time, we talk about how we for protect the water catchment area. We say let a simple message we say let we protect the water catchment area. Water and life. Let me respect the green belt. From the conversation what we get now, it's clear say people them know who side the green belt